mars 2018 par l'Union africaine, lancé en mai 2020 par son Excellence Moussa Faki de l'Union africaine, en partenariat avec la Fondation Kofi Annan. Et cela a reçu le soutien de plusieurs leaders du continent pour mettre ce programme en œuvre. Ce programme a 3 parties. La cérémonie que nous vivons aujourd'hui fait partie de la première partie. Et il y a la deuxième partie qui est le Virtual Leadership Academy, qui sera un endroit où beaucoup de personnes pourront venir bien réfléchir sur l'approche sur les problèmes du continent. Et il y a un Scholar Programme qui va essayer d'utiliser la capitale de la diaspora et qui sera lancé bientôt. Pour ce premier cohorte, il y a eu 600 personnes qui ont envoyé leur candidature lorsque le programme a été ouvert, venant de 44 pays, et 20 personnes ont été retenues, parmi lesquelles 19 ont participé jusqu'à la fin. Pour la deuxième cohorte qui a été lancée récemment, nous avons eu 3000 personnes qui ont envoyé leur candidature, parmi lesquelles 20 personnes ont été choisies, venant de 17 pays, parmi lesquels 11 femmes et 8 hommes. Ceci traduit la qualité du programme. Je ne terminerai pas mes propos sans reconnaître les personnes qui ont œuvré pour que ce programme puisse voir le jour, parmi lesquels le coordinateur général, le Dr Alex Coutinho, le Dr Ebere, Anna et d'autres personnes que je ne pourrais pas mentionner. Et je voudrais aussi dire que il y a eu d'autres personnes ressources, parmi lesquelles le professeur Peter Piot, le Dr Moeti de l'OMS, les chefs de division de Africa CDC et d'autres personnes de l'Union africaine et d'autres institutions. Je terminerai mes propos en vous laissant avec une citation du Dr John Kengarson qui dit « La santé publique est interconnectée avec la politique et la diplomatie ». Donc, ce programme a pour but de former des personnes qui ne seront pas seulement techniquement aptes pour adresser les problèmes de santé, mais être capables de faire aussi la diplomatie pour que cette approche soit générale pour assurer la sécurité du continent. Sur ce, je vous remercie. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Dr. Mohammad Abdulaziz, who is the head of division of disease control and prevention of Africa CDC, and at the same time acting head of division of surveillance, but currently wearing a bigger hat as the officer in charge of Africa CDC. Welcome, Dr. Mohammad.
And thank you, Elvis. Your Excellencies, ambassadors from the 14 member states that are represented in this graduating cohort, Your Excellencies, ambassadors from partner countries, esteemed members of the faculty, esteemed inaugural cohort, esteemed staff in the African Union and Africa CDC, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Acting Director of Africa CDC, Dr. Ahmed Ogwal, it is my honor to welcome you all to the graduation ceremony of the inaugural Kofi Annan Fellows. Secretary Kofi Annan was the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations. He is not a public health professional by training, but left a crater of an impact on the global health architecture by creating the Global Fund. Let me say, where I was listening to Dr. Taj, I remembered when Kofi Annan became the Secretary General of the United Nations, I was telling my friends that it means anybody from Africa can aspire to the highest position in the world. It was such a great motivation for us that were at our transformational age at that time. Really a great trailblazer. The Kofi Annan Fellowship in Global Leadership Program seeks to support aspirational public health leaders in acquiring advanced skills and competence to strategize, manage, and lead public health programs that will positively transform public health in Africa. One thing about the Kofi Annan leadership program is that it is entirely conceived by Africa, for Africans. And it also takes into account the fact that we need to give aspirational young people on the continent the ability to come together and learn the skills that can make them occupy any leadership position in public health on the continent. The aspiration is for Kofi Annan Public Health Fellows to emulate the exemplary leadership and qualities of the former Secretary General Kofi Annan, and go on to contribute to and lead the implementation of the new public health order for Africa, and in turn, develop the next generation of public health leaders. As Dr. Taj said, the inaugural cohort was selected from over 600 applicants, while the second cohort has just been selected with over 3,000 applications. So the graduating cohorts, you can see that you are quite a special select group of people, and what you did during this period you are with Africa CDC has made this program to gain more followership, that over 3,000 people on the continent wants to really come and join us. To the graduating fellow, there is a saying from Alexander the Great to General, who retreat at the sight of defeat, also named Alexander. The saying goes, either do the like I do, or be brave, or give me my name back. Similarly, you, the inaugural cohort, are being given the title Kofi Annan Fellow, which means you also have the big responsibility to emulate him and bring even bigger changes to the regional and public health architecture. The continent is at a, so to speak, a period in which we are still responding. We hope we are over the most difficult period, but we're still responding to a global pandemic, the likes that we've never seen in 100 years. And the fact that we are opening up, traveling more, means that this kind of pandemic may be coming more frequently than it used to be. What it means is that we cannot go to back to the period in which Africa depends on outside this continent for everything. I quote the director of Africa CDC, the inaugural director, the outgoing director, Dr. John Nkangesi, when he said, for this pandemic, some of the countries on the continent were importing 70 to 90% of the consumables required for them to mount a pandemic response. That cannot be health security. We need to move to a situation in which the continent, in the next pandemic, can be producing 70-90% of what is required on the continent to mount an effective response. What does that mean? Dr. Taj talked about the new public health order. Africa CDC has identified some really important thematic areas that we need to push on the continent to get the member states prepared for the next pandemic. And for you, selected from different aspects of public health on the continent, this is a challenge that you must take to see that the continent will be better prepared for responding to public health events as they come. I am sure each and every one of you will go back to your countries and organization to apply what you have learned from each other as well as the faculty to bring transformational change on the continent. I am also sure you will serve as advocates and champion of this prestigious program. Let me say Some of us have benefited from different leadership programs outside the continent. Dr. Taj is a fellow of the Chatham House. I followed in his footsteps. Actually, today is our graduation, but I chose to come here because I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward because I see the future of leadership in public health in the Kofi Annan Fellowship Program. On this note, I declare this graduation program on behalf of the Acting Director of Africa CDC, Dr. Ahmed Ogwell, officially open by congratulating you, our inaugural cohort. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohamed, for the speech. Let me just do a summary in French. Au nom du directeur actuel de Africa CDC, Dr. Ahmed Ogwell, je vous souhaite la bienvenue pour cette cérémonie de remise de diplôme de la première cohorte du Kofi Annan Fellowship Program. Le secrétaire général Kofi Annan était le 7e secrétaire général de l'ONU et qui n'était pas un spécialiste de santé publique, mais a mis en place une idée qui a résulté à la création du Global Fund. Et je suis convaincu que plusieurs personnes qui sont ici ont eu à bénéficier d'une façon directe ou indirecte des services du Global Fund. Il y a même certains qui ont gravé des échelons pour avoir des positions de responsabilité dans des institutions liées au Global Fund. Donc, ce programme a été créé pour soutenir les leaders en santé publique sur le continent et cela a été particulièrement conçu par les Africains pour les Africains afin d'émuler les qualités de leadership de Kofi Annan et s'assurer que les personnes qui auront bénéficié de cette formation pourront mettre en œuvre le nouvel ordre de santé publique continentale. Comme mentionné tout à l'heure, cette première cohorte a été sélectionnée d'un groupe de personnes, ce qui a motivé plus de 3000 personnes à vouloir participer à la deuxième cohorte. Donc, cette première cohorte a la responsabilité de s'assurer que le leadership soit de taille. Je voudrais paraphraser le directeur inaugural de Africa CDC qui a dit, pendant la pandémie de Covid, beaucoup de pays importaient 70 à 90% des consommables pour lutter contre la pandémie. Et cela ne peut pas être considéré comme la sécurité sanitaire pour le continent. Et nous devons donc s'assurer que pendant la prochaine pandémie, 70 à 90% de ce consommable soient produits sur le continent. Il y a donc des thématiques qui ont été identifiées par Africa CDC pour préparer cela. Et donc vous avez le challenge de vous assurer que le continent soit préparé pour une pandémie quelconque. Et vous avez aussi la responsabilité de faire le plaidoyer pour ce programme de fellowship. Vous êtes les futurs leaders en santé publique. Prenez donc cette responsabilité. Au nom du directeur actuel de Africa CDC, le Dr. Ahmed Ogwell, je déclare ouverte cette cérémonie de remise de diplôme à la première cohorte du Kofi Annan Fellowship Program. Je vous remercie. So after getting those wise words from our officer in charge of Africa CDC, I would like to invite, I need to pause to call her name. She's a strong woman. She's a leader. She's an icon. And she's an example to emulate. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Ebere Okereke who has been a faculty in the Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Program and one of the main pillars of the success of this program. You're welcome, Dr. Ebere.
I'll talk to you later. I'm short, so I'm going to have to turn this down a bit. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So I'm going to do what I always tell the fellows not to do, which is I will read my speech because I want to be short so that Elvis has an easier task of translation. So honorable guests, fellows, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. That's something we say in Nigeria a lot. So greetings from the many institutions I represent, the Tony Blair Institute, Africa CDC, the UK Health Security Agency, and the diverse African diaspora community of global health professionals and leaders. Dr. John Nkengasong, whose vision gave birth to this fellowship program, developed the idea of a new public health order, which you've already heard about. And as mentioned, it constitutes of 4 pillars, the 4th one of which, and which in my view is the most important, is having a skilled public health workforce. This program is about that workforce. The recent pandemic has exposed the vulnerabilities in health security and preparedness across the board in affluent and less affluent countries. The quality of the pandemic response has also varied across the socioeconomic spectrum. A key factor that has become increasingly obvious during this period of pandemic is the quality of leadership, both in politics and in public health. As this fellowship program is about global health leadership, I shall restrict my comments and my subsequent comments to global health. But I would like to make a recommendation to those of you who represent politicians that perhaps they should consider a fellowship such as this one to improve the quality of their decision making. So being technically competent is not enough to make you a good public health leader. It is necessary, but it's not sufficient for effective leadership of public health systems. Health systems have been described as wicked systems, and health security with its numerous interconnectivities are even more wicked systems. This program has tried to prepare these 19 fellows, selected from over 600 applicants, for them to take responsibility to lead these complex, wicked systems. There's a recognition that some of the failures of the global system in responding to the current pandemic and to prior pandemics, we shouldn't forget that there is still a pandemic of tuberculosis going around the world, there's still an HIV epidemic on this continent, and there are many, many other tropical diseases or neglected diseases that continue to blight significant proportions of the globe. But it is recognized that some of the challenge has been due in part to a failure of leadership, specifically of competent and representative leadership. By increasing the numbers and quality of skilled African global health leaders, this program aims to eliminate that excuse. These global health fellows are the leaders that will take on the challenge to strengthen our public health systems across the continent and increase our representation on the global stages. They will lead the charge to create the AU Agenda 2063 vision of an Africa we want. Another passion of mine, as anyone who's come across me knows, is gender equity in health leadership. And I'm especially proud of the gender balance of this cohort. And these women are unapologetically champions, bringing the gender lens to global health in Africa. And please, can I hear it for the ladies? So, I said I would be brief. I'd like to address my last comments directly to the fellows. And if I could just ask you to just raise your hands. Mary, toot your horn for me for a minute. Yeah, okay. Please, you can put your hands down. I just wanted you to be recognized in the room. I'd like to, first of all, thank you all for being amazing and for translating a theoretical proposition into reality. Because of you, there will be a second Kofi Annan Fellowship, a second cohort of Kofi Annan Global Health Leaders. I have been humbled by all of you, by your determination, your dedication, and care for each other. You are a privileged but small group. Share your learning with others. Step into the rooms that you have not been invited into. Pull up a chair to tables where you should be heard. Go out there and make trouble. Make good trouble and change the world. Congratulations to all of you on your graduation and for being the first cohort of many more to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ibere, for the speech. It was short, but not easy to pick up. I will try my best. OK. Tout d'abord, le Dr. Ibere a commencé par transmettre les salutations de l'Institut Tony Blair, ainsi que d'autres institutions de la diaspora, à tous ceux qui sont présents aujourd'hui. Et a commencé ses propos par citer le Dr. Jen Kengasson, par qui cette idée a commencé, qui dit que une des choses nécessaires pour la sécurité sanitaire sur le continent, c'est le personnel de santé apte et capable. Et c'est sur cette idée que ce fellowship programme a commencé. Donc, la pandémie a démontré la vulnérabilité de beaucoup de systèmes de santé dans le monde et la qualité de la riposte à cette pandémie était variable et la qualité de leadership en politique et en santé publique ont été des axes très importants. Et sur ce, si c'est permis, elle proposera qu'il y ait un fellowship pareil pour les personnes qui sont du côté politique, afin de s'assurer que les décisions politiques qui sont prises face à des situations de pandémie soient des bonnes décisions qui facilitent la riposte contre cette pandémie. Donc, dans un système vulnérable, nous avons besoin des leaders. Actuellement, sur le continent, il y a encore beaucoup de fléaux, parmi lesquels le VIH, la tuberculose, les maladies négligées, les maladies tropicales négligées. Et un des challenges dans la riposte contre ces maladies, c'était un leadership de qualité. Et donc, ce programme a pour but de former des personnes qui sont capables de s'assurer que ce même challenge n'existe pas. Dans les fellows de Kofi Annan Fellowship Programme, vous avez aussi la responsabilité de vous assurer que l'agenda 2063 de l'Union africaine soit une réalité. Comme quelqu'un qui fait beaucoup de plaidoyer pour l'égalité des genres, je suis très ému de savoir que dans la première cohorte, il y a eu 11 femmes, et je le dirais plus haut, que ces femmes ont mérité d'être là et ont besoin de se féliciter. Je voudrais remercier tous les fellows de cette première cohorte parce qu'ils ont pu rendre une idée en une réalité. Et à cause de vous, il y aura une deuxième cohorte et beaucoup plus d'autres à venir. Donc, vous avez la responsabilité d'aller créer des problèmes, des bons problèmes, afin de s'assurer que la sécurité sanitaire du continent soit mise en œuvre. Sur cette note, je voudrais vous féliciter. Thank you very much for your attention. I told you before that she's a very strong woman. You need to be strong to follow her. One round of applause for Dr. Ibere for those wise words, please. Okay. So, at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, as we have heard earlier, this is an idea that came from our inaugural director, Dr. John Kengasson. But any idea that has to see light needs action. And what we see today is a result of so much work behind the scene. And I would like to say I have the honor to invite on the stage one of the stars who was pulling the strings behind the scene and on the stage to make sure that this idea comes to fruition. I'm very happy to introduce to you Dr. Godwin Coutinho, the Program Director of the Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Program, to come and give us an idea about the excerpts from a one-year journey. Dr. Alex, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. And Your Excellencies, the leadership and the staff of Africa Union and Africa CDC who are here, Dr. Mohammad specifically, who represents the leadership of Africa CDC today, various global agencies that are represented, including the UK Health Security Agency, USID, invited guests, faculty, the Secretariat for Kofi Annan, but most importantly, the fellows. This is your day. It's a real honor and a privilege to stand here and talk a little bit about a journey that is not just 1 year, because in fact, whilst for the fellows, it has been a one-year journey, there has been a lot of work behind the scenes to get this 1 year to completion today. I want to extend my congratulations to the fellows for persevering through this fellowship that kept changing course because of the impact of COVID and other restrictions that meant that you had to be adaptive and actually practice leadership skills in completing this leadership journey. I want to congratulate Africa CDC and the Africa Union for supporting and bringing to success this inaugural program and inaugural cohort. And of course, our mother continent, Africa, because everything that we have done is really to take our continent to a better place. It's been a very interesting journey that has involved many, many individuals, and I will list them and thank them. But in fact, the journey for the Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership began decades ago. It began before the founding of Africa CDC. It began because there has been a great need for leadership in Africa, but particularly leadership for public health in Africa. And as we discussed with the fellows, leadership is most obvious when it is absent. Leadership is most visible when it is absent. Because when there is good leadership, you take it for granted that things are working well. But when there is an absence of leadership or poor leadership is when you know we need leaders. So the need for leaders in the public health space has been known for a long time. But we recognize particularly Kofi Annan, who, leading up to 2001 and 2002 and the establishment of the Global Fund, showed us that you cannot separate politics from public health, and that you cannot separate public health from peace and security, and led several initiatives, including the very first United Nations General Assembly special session on HIV in New York in June 2001, which then led to the kickstarting of the Global Fund. So when we honor Kofi Annan for what he did, we are honoring his work that ultimately has led to this Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Program. And as we have also discussed, there is no beginning and no end for the leadership journey. When you, the fellows, were invited to join this very prestigious program, you were already leaders. If you had not been leaders, you would not have been selected, because the selection criteria was very, very vigorous. But the 1 year investment in you by very many people and institutions, we hope has accelerated your development as a leader, has broadened your vision, and has positioned you to continue your journey, because your journey is not going to end. But we don't want you to travel on that journey alone. We want you to bring others along, because in numbers there is safety and there is success. So I would summarize that Kofi Annan taught us that there are several aspects that are necessary to be brought together to be a true global health leader. And since I am a teacher genetically, I will make it easy that in English, all of them begin with P, the letter P. For French, for Arabic, I don't know, but Elvis can try. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There could be more, but there are 9 things for me that exemplify Kofi Annan and exemplify what we have tried to impart to the fellows. And these 9, when brought together, when they synergize, then Africa is going to go very, very far. The first is purpose. You cannot go where you don't know where you want to go or what you want to do. We call that vision, but in fact, purpose. What is the purpose of leadership? The second is political. The reason we are here in AU is you will go nowhere unless you can mobilize the political will and the political support that is required. But the political cannot act unless there are policies that they can pass and monitor and ensure that these all happen. And you can't do it alone, even as Africa. So one must mobilize the philanthropic partners who are there to support Africa in one way or another, and some of whom are in this room. And you must then focus all of this onto public health, which also begins with a P. So that your focus is public health, but that you know that these public health must be translated into programs. But these programs must be there to support people and their aspirations. But ultimately, what do our people want? When we provide public health programs, when we go to the villages, what do people truly want? Of course, they want to be healthy. But beyond being healthy, they seek prosperity and they seek peace in their lives. So for me, these 9, purpose, political, policy, philanthropic, public health, programs for people to bring prosperity and peace, are the essence of the journey that we have traveled during this 1 year, inspired by the vision, by the work of Kofi Annan. But this did not happen due to one single individual. Clearly, we must recognize the leadership of Africa CDC, Dr. John Nkengasong in particular, for taking up the mantle that the Africa Union gave to establish the Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Program. But here is a short list of institutions and individuals who have been critical to the success. And for the 20 fellows, this may surprise you, because all of these have had to come together to bring a success. First is the Kofi Annan family and the Kofi Annan Foundation, who gave their full support to this program and who allowed a prestigious name of Kofi Annan so that you can, for the rest of your life, call yourself a Kofi Annan fellow. The second is the Africa Union, for creating a vision of 2063, and within that vision of 2063, providing a legacy for our father, Kofi Annan. For Africa CDC, for taking this vision from Africa Union and incorporating it into the new public health order, so that Kofi Annan fellows understand fully that everything they do has a double vision. A new, in this case, a double vision is actually good medically. A new public health order and Agenda 2063. Of course, our thanks have to go to the fellows for committing themselves, but we know that behind the fellows, you have institutions that gave you space and time to participate in the fellowship, but your own families who provided you the space and the time to do all of the activities that were needed. I want to thank the Africa CDC leadership that has always been there to support, the outgoing director, Dr. John, the acting director, Dr. Ahmed, Dr. Taj, Dr. Muhammad, Dr. Acham, Dr. Teresa, and many others. Some are not here, some are here. I thank you. There was no time when I did not send an email that I did not get a response and the help that I needed to make this a success with the rest of the team. Specifically, within the Africa CDC workforce team, Ms. Faith Mfi, who could not be here today, but who sends her greetings, and who is not here because she is doing other work that is important to the public health of Africa. A round of applause for Faith. But behind this has been a very, very busy secretariat. And in the early days, that secretariat was driven by Muthoni and Sian, who are no longer part of Africa CDC, but who were very critical in the early days. And now their successors, Tirune and Adam, and I would like us to give a big round of applause. This would not have happened without the work, the energy of these four individuals. I also want to thank AFENET, who is represented here by several individuals, headed up by Rebecca Babidie. We thank you because we know you don't just support the Kofi Annan, but the logistical support and other support that you provide is critical to the success of this and other programs. So please extend our thanks to your executive director and the rest of the team. Special thanks go to the steering committee. This program would not have happened without a steering committee, and I will read the members. First and foremost, Martin. And Martin, I will ask you to stand, because really you put together the paperwork that allowed us to steer it. So you cannot steer what does not exist. Martin Muita. Yes. Thank you. The other members, of course, Dr. Ibere, Ade Adeyemi, Dr. Claire, Anna, who is here, and Dr. Taj is part of our steering committee, as is Faith. There are other pieces that made this a success. Coach Africa, who is represented here by Sam Boya. Can you please stand? Yes. And provided an Africa-based coaching resource. Other faculty members who are not here, but as we heard, included people like Dr. Moeti, Dr. Peter Piot, and other dignitaries around the world. And of course, our list of mentors who helped mentor the fellows. Finally, of course, this program needed to be funded, and we thank the donor who asked to remain anonymous for providing us the funding for this. So, at a personal level, I want to thank Africa CDC for giving me the responsibility, the privilege. I had retired, and I was pulled out of retirement to do this. But when you do something that you love, and for me, leadership development is something that I truly love, it did not feel like work at all. It felt like my life. So thank you, and we look forward to the next cohort, which begins on June the 7th. So we only have 2 or 3 weeks to get ready to begin this all over again. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Dr. Coutinho. C'est un privilège pour moi de parler de ce parcours qui aujourd'hui est d'un an, mais qui a débuté longtemps avant cela. Je voudrais remercier les fellows qui ont fait ce parcours qui n'était pas un parcours très lisse. Il y avait beaucoup de choses qui changeaient avec le temps à cause de la pandémie. Mais ils ont quand même réussi à faire ce chemin. Je voudrais remercier Africa CDC et aussi d'autres individus qui ont œuvré à ce que ce parcours soit fructueux. Le parcours du Kofi Annan Fellowship Programme a commencé longtemps avant Africa CDC, car il y avait toujours un besoin de leadership, parce que l'absence de leadership est plus apparente que sa présence. Et c'est sur ce que je reconnais le secrétaire Kofi Annan, qui en 2002 a œuvré pour la création du Global Fund et qui a démontré que nous ne pouvons pas séparer la santé publique de la politique et de la paix et de la sécurité. Je voudrais rappeler aux fellows qu'en matière de leadership, il n'y a jamais de début ni de fin. Et dans ce parcours, nous reconnaissons le fait que vous étiez déjà les leaders, parce que pour être sélectionné pour ce programme, il faut d'abord être leader. Mais ce parcours d'un an a augmenté votre vision. Et je voudrais vous rappeler que dans ce parcours, il ne faut pas y aller tout seul, car c'est ensemble que nous œuvrons le changement. Je voudrais rappeler quelques qualités de leader. Et pour ces qualités, en anglais, il y a 9 qualités qui commencent tous par P, mais ce n'est pas la même chose en français. Le premier, c'est la vision. La deuxième chose, c'est l'appui politique. Car sans support politique, il n'y a pas d'action. La troisième chose, malgré le fait que c'est le même mot en français, policy and politics, ce sont les politiques qui sont mises en œuvre et avec l'appui des politiques pour que cela soit transformé en action. La troisième chose, c'est le partenariat. Et dans ce partenariat, nous reconnaissons des partenaires qui sont philanthropes pour soutenir ce programme. La cinquième, c'est la santé publique, qui amène la mise en place des programmes. Et quand les programmes sont mis en place, c'est pour le peuple. Et malgré le fait que nous savons ce que le peuple veut, et cette chose, c'est la bonne santé, nous savons aussi que le peuple a besoin de la prospérité, ainsi que la paix. Donc, toutes ces qualités résument la raison pourquoi nous avons fait ce parcours. Je n'arrêterai pas mes propos sans reconnaître certaines personnes et des institutions qui se sont assurées que ce parcours soit ce que nous vivons aujourd'hui. Premièrement, le leadership du Dr. John Kengasson, qui a pu mettre en place cette idée. Je voudrais remercier aussi des institutions parmi lesquelles la famille Kofi Annan ainsi que la fondation Kofi Annan qui ont accepté que son nom soit utilisé dans un leadership, dans un programme pareil. Je voudrais aussi remercier l'Union africaine pour la mise en place de l'agenda 2063 ainsi que Africa CDC d'avoir la vision du nouvel ordre de santé publique continental et mettre cette vision dans l'agenda 2063. Je voudrais aussi remercier les fellows pour leur disponibilité, ainsi que les institutions où ils sont affiliés, de les avoir donné la permission d'être avec nous, sans oublier leurs familles qui ont accepté leur absence à cause de ce programme. Je vais aussi remercier d'autres personnes, parmi lesquelles Dr. Taj, Dr. Mohamed, Dr. Acham qui est ici présent, ainsi que l'équipe du Workforce Development, parmi lesquelles Faith. Et au début de ce programme, au secrétariat, il y avait Moutoni et Sean qui ne sont plus avec nous, mais ce secrétariat a été repris par Tirune et Adam. Nous voudrons aussi remercier AFENET, qui est représenté ici par plusieurs personnes, parmi lesquelles Rebecca. Et nous souhaiterions que nos remerciements soient remis à leur directeur général. Il y avait aussi un comité de gestion ou de pilotage, parmi lesquels il y a le grand frère Dr Martin Mouita, Dr Ebere, et plusieurs personnes qui ne sont pas avec nous. Nous voulons aussi remercier Coach Africa pour le soutien et d'autres membres de faculté qui ne sont pas avec nous. Et dernièrement, en dernière position, sans être le moindre, l'institution qui a soutenu financièrement ce programme, mais qui a choisi d'être anonyme. Je voudrais aussi rappeler que la prochaine cohorte va commencer le 7 juin. C'est sur ce point que le docteur Coutinho nous a remerciés pour notre aimable attention. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, all protocol respected, I think the time has come for us to also listen to the people who have been honored to be on this program and whose graduation today has brought all of us here. I would like to invite Dr. Mary Muchekeza, a Kofi Annan Fellow, to give a speech on behalf of the graduating fellows. Ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands for her?
Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying all protocols are observed. I feel greatly honored to come before you today to deliver this remark on behalf of the fellows of the Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Program, and indeed on my own behalf. We would like to start by appreciating the great vision that gave birth to this auspicious program, the first of its kind for African public health leaders by African public health leaders. We feel so privileged to have been part of this program, one that has helped to sharpen our leadership skills and views over the past 1 year. The lessons we have learned from the different methods that were employed in delivering the program were exceptional and incomparable. Right from the virtual lectures, to the physical face-to-face interactions, to the keynote address by seasoned public health leaders, to the leadership challenge projects, the mentorship and the coaching sessions. This has undoubtedly been a very rich, insightful and inspiring program. Although we could not have as many face-to-face interactions as we wanted because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the efforts that were made to make this program a success were unwavering, and we feel very humbled that this was done for us. We have established networks, links, and friendships that we would otherwise have not had we not been part of the program, and for that, we are more than grateful. The thrust of my speech today is really to just give thanks to everyone who made this program a success, either individually or institutionally. Starting with the African Union. Your Excellencies, we are grateful for your visionary leadership that gave birth to Africa CDC under whose auspices the Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Program was conceived, and for all the support that you give to member states to advance improvements in all fields. To Africa CDC, we are grateful for the leadership that conceptualized and envisioned this program and pushed for it to coming to life and being academically launched to us in April 2021. We are truly grateful for having been accorded the opportunity to learn and have fun while doing it. You have indeed shown us the exact meaning of unity, of purpose, and all inclusivity, as you accepted us all in our diversities in profession, in culture, physical stature, nationality, gender, language, and different levels of ability. And for that, I thank you. To the Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Program faculty, under the directorship of Dr. Alex, thank you for your sacrifices in time, expertise, intellect, and knowledge. We thank you for coming to share with us from your wealth of experiences, all in a bid to make us better leaders. You made us feel valued and respected in our interactions with you. You made it easy for us to fully participate in the program without feeling undermined or discredited for any reason. And thank you for that. But Dr. Alex, we would like to thank you specifically as a standalone. For you, Dr. Alex, words are not enough. We run short of them in trying to express our gratitude to who you have been and who you still are to us. You gave us the prime part of yourself as you shared several leadership lessons, both from your own experiences and that of others. Honestly, this program could have never had a better director than you. You brought us together and united us in ways that we could have never imagined humanly possible. You made us a family. You showed us how to be relentless and tenacious as leaders in order to achieve our goals. You taught us how to refuse, to take no for an answer in relevant situations. The leadership lessons we received from you are just too numerous to count. They are greatly valued. They are unique and beyond comparison. I personally would like to thank you for the way you went beyond the call of duty to accommodate me with my peculiar differences, to make me feel comfortable, for being always sensitive to my needs. I really appreciate you. To the fellows, my colleagues, I would like to say thank you for accepting the invitation to be part of the inaugural cohort of the program. Thank you for bringing the best of yourselves, for fully participating and reaching us by sharing experiences from your very own leadership journeys. We have, during the course of this past year, established connections and bonds. May these networks signify the beginning of our lifelong journeys together as we continue to interlink and interact in our quest to make the health of the African communities that we serve better and better. May we therefore become the vessels that will bring the change that we want to see in the public health space in Africa. The task ahead of us, honestly to me, feels insurmountable, but I know together we can work tirelessly to achieve this. I personally would also like to take this opportunity to once again thank you, fellows, for being hands-on and action-oriented leaders in the way that you rose up to my needs and galvanized each other together with the faculty to give me this wonderful gift that I'm sitting on and moving around with. Your gesture really touched deep into the core of my heart and the hearts of my significant others. And for that, I greatly appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be amiss of me to conclude this remark without paying tribute to Kofi Annan himself posthumously for the percipient, foresighted, and impactful leader that he was. For from that we have found the anchor for not only this program, but many other global health initiatives meant to improve the health of communities in Africa and beyond. And for that, we honor him. Lastly, the fellows would like to end by pledging our commitment to the new public health order for Africa agenda. We will do our utmost best to advance this agenda in both our current and future spheres of influence. I could go on, but I'm aware that the time accorded to me is not limitless. Allow me, therefore, to conclude by saying, on behalf of the fellows, we truly are grateful. Thank you very much. Merci. Muito obrigada.
Thank you very much, Mary, for giving such a touchy speech on behalf of the fellows. I'll try to do a resume in French, but I cannot say everything she said because, yeah. But I think we could get from her voice how grateful the fellows are. Donc, tout d'abord, elle a commencé par remercier la vision de l'Union africaine qui a créé ce programme de leadership. Et la deuxième chose, c'est que toutes les leçons qu'ils ont apprises pendant ce parcours étaient exceptionnelles à travers toutes les méthodes d'apprentissage et d'échange face à face, virtuel. Et malgré le fait que la pandémie de Covid a créé des interruptions sur le programme, cela n'a pas empêché cet échange très riche et très particulier. À travers ce programme, ils ont établi des réseaux. Ils ont créé une sorte de famille. Et elle ne voudra pas arrêter ses propos sans remercier certains individus ainsi que des institutions. Premièrement, l'Union africaine qui a créé Africa CDC, ainsi que Africa CDC qui a créé le Kofi Annan Fellowship Programme. Et elle a aussi tenu à remercier Africa CDC pour le soutien aux pays membres de l'Union africaine. Et elle voudrait aussi remercier Africa CDC d'avoir créé ce programme qui était très inclusif, tenant compte de la diversité, que ce soit physique, que ce soit culturelle, de langue. Elle voudrait aussi remercier la faculté du Kofi Annan Fellowship Programme pour tous les sacrifices dont elle n'a pas pu tous les exprimer en quelques mots. Avec un remerciement particulier au Dr Alex Coutinho pour sa disponibilité, sa sagesse, ainsi que son côté sensible à s'assurer toujours que les besoins personnels de Mary soient inclus dans la façon dont le programme se déroulait. Elle voudrait aussi remercier tous les fellows d'avoir accepté de participer à ce programme et plus particulièrement, la partie la plus touchante de ses propos était le fait qu'elle a remercié tous ceux qui ont contribué à s'assurer que sa mobilité soit moins réduite qu'avant le programme. Et donc, elle reconnaît le fait que l'engin mobile qu'elle utilise actuellement a été une contribution générale de tous les fellows, ainsi que les autres personnes qui lui ont offert ce cadeau, qui lui voit droit au cœur, ainsi qu'au cœur de ceux qui lui sont chers. Et elle a rendu un hommage particulier à Kofi Annan pour sa vision. Et en fin de compte, elle a dit au nom des fellows qu'ils prennent cet engagement de respecter les différents piliers du nouvel ordre de santé publique du continent, que ce soit dans leur fonction actuelle ou dans le futur. Thank you very much, Mary, for the very nice speech. So, I'd like to invite a second fellow to talk on the behalf of the fellows. But this time, I guess it's going to be in French. So, I invite Dr. Isaka Sunday. A hands of applause for him, please.
Ok. Mesdames et messieurs, en vos grades et qualités respectives, mes collègues ont eu l'amabilité de me confier l'honneur et le grand plaisir de prononcer ce soir notre parole en cette cérémonie de graduation de la première cohorte de la Fondation Kofi Annan de leadership pour la santé mondiale. Un proverbe africain dit que lorsqu'une chèvre trouve un fruit de qualité par terre, elle doit avant tout et chaleureusement remercier le bon vent qui l'a fait tomber. C'est donc l'occasion pour nous, ici solennellement, de remercier tous ceux qui ont conçu ce programme, qui l'ont planifié, qui l'ont financé, qui l'ont mis en œuvre et qui nous donnent l'honneur d'être ici cet après-midi pour cette cérémonie. Depuis 12 mois, grâce à la participation de toutes et de tous, nous avons été soumis, nous avons été mis dans la moule, puis placés dans le four de la Fondation Kofi Annan, non pas pour nous griller, nous préparer, mais pour nous transformer en leaders, en femmes et hommes capables de se sublimer et d'apporter significativement leur contribution au mieux-être du continent africain. Alors, la transformation que nous avons subite, elle est non seulement horizontale pour nous permettre de voir plus loin, elle est verticale pour nous permettre de voir plus haut, mais elle est aussi mentale pour nous permettre d'être plus forts, plus résilients, plus ingénieux, plus engagés. Mesdames et messieurs, vous savez que toute transformation ne se fait pas dans la facilité. Et toute transformation doit conduire à un être meilleur, à une substance meilleure et plus utile. Quand nous prenons la nourriture que nous mangeons tous les jours, les aliments que nous consommons sont transformés en nutriments utiles et absorbables par l'organisme. Quand nous prenons le métal, ce métal qui est issu du minerai, il est d'abord purifié, puis dans les mains habiles d'un bijoutier, il devient un beau bijou que nous aimons. Quand nous prenons la chenille, qui est au début une larve effrayante, misérable, mais par la suite, qui se transforme en un joli papillon coloré et qui vole et qui fait plaisir à voir. Mesdames et messieurs, cette transformation nécessite toujours un sacrifice. L'aliment subit les effets du sucre digestif dans l'organisme pour se transformer en nutriments utile à l'organisme. Le métal subit l'épreuve du feu pour devenir un bijou. Et la chenille, cette larve est d'abord dans le sol ou dans son cocon. Et ensuite, il sort au niveau au-dessus du sol, il subit l'épreuve de la lumière pour devenir un papillon, cet être ailé qui peut voler, aller plus haut et plus loin. À travers cette formation donc, depuis ces 12 mois, nous avons vraiment appris. Nous avons appris à nous connaître grâce aux outils qui ont été mis à notre disposition, grâce au partage d'expériences de tous ceux qui ont intervenu auprès de nous, avec nous et qui nous ont accompagnés, soit à titre personnel, à titre de coach ou à titre de mentor. Et c'est l'occasion ici de les féliciter et de les remercier. Donc, ce que nous sommes devenus, du moins ce que vous nous avez permis de devenir, en quoi vous nous avez vraiment transformés, aujourd'hui nous sommes fiers d'avoir vraiment répondu au rendez-vous, d'être des leaders. Aujourd'hui, nous pouvons dire que nous avons acquis de la lumière, non pas seulement vraiment pour nous faire briller, mais c'est une lumière qui doit nous servir aussi à éclairer les autres pour l'intérêt commun de la santé publique pour l'Afrique. Nous avons poussé aujourd'hui des ailes pour voler plus haut et pour aller plus loin afin de disséminer l'ensemble de nos connaissances et des compétences que vous nous avez permis d'acquérir. Alors, cela nous permet vraiment de prendre non seulement de l'altitude, mais aussi d'aller plus loin et d'amener d'autres acteurs que nous allons vraiment contribuer à former. Mesdames et messieurs, nous nous engageons dorénavant à mettre toutes nos compétences, nos connaissances et notre leadership au service de l'Afrique. Aujourd'hui, pour les 18 fellows ici présents et ceux qui sont en esprit avec nous, qui n'ont pas pu venir du fait de leur test Covid, nous nous engageons à être des ambassadeurs pour la Fondation Kofi Annan, pour l'Union africaine, pour CDC Africa, pour vraiment mettre nos compétences, nos connaissances au service du continent africain. Vive le leadership au service de la santé publique pour le continent africain. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much, Dr. Isaka. I would also like to say that apart from being a public health leader, Dr. Isaka is also a writer. So you could hear that from his speech. Just in very brief, he started by an African proverb where he said, when a goat finds a very nice fruit on the ground, the first thing it does is to thank the wind for bringing it from the tree. And on that note, he thanks everyone who has contributed in one way or the other for the success of this program. During the 12 months of the Kofi Annan Fellowship Program, the fellows were put in a mold and in an oven. Literally to mean there was need for transformation. And transformation is never easy. At the end of this transformation process, which partly was vertical for them to see higher, it was also horizontal for them to see larger. And he gave examples of metals being transformed by fire to jewelry, as well as a caterpillar that doesn't look as beautiful as the butterfly, transforming to become the beautiful butterfly that we all admire. And this transformation requires a lot of sacrifice. During this time, they learned a lot. And they are happy to be the leaders of Africa, the light of the continent, and they promise to ensure that this lantern brightens the lives of others. And they pledge to also continue to train others. At that point, on behalf of the fellows, they pledge to invest all their efforts for the service of Africa and will remain ambassadors of the Kofi Annan Fellowship Program and the Africa CDC. Ladies and gentlemen, a hand of applause for Dr. Isaka. So, now, I think the long-awaited moment has come. And I want to believe that if I was one of the fellas, I'll be feeling like kindergarten graduating for the first time. So we have come to the point where we have to invite some eminent leaders of Africa's CDC to honor us by handing over the different certificates to our distinguished, very bright, and very privileged Kofi Annan fellows. So I will invite Dr. Mohammad, our current officer in charge, Dr. Taj, my boss, the head of Division of Public Health Institute and Research, Dr. Alex Godwin Coutinho, the program director, my mentor, Dr. Acham, the Eastern African RCC coordinator, our mother. Please, we would like to invite you to the stage. So please, so,
before we actually hand over the certificates, I wanted to be sure that there is a leadership lesson in the certificate. You will notice that the certificate bears only the name of the fellow. We did not put professor, doctor, pastor. And the reason is to remind you that you are a leader regardless of the titles that you might acquire, as important as they are. And that you do not need to be a doctor to be a leader. You do not need to be a pastor, a professor. All those are useful. But a leadership is you, the individual. So please take note when you read it. Don't wonder what happened to my title, doctor this, professor this, pastor this. Just, Elvis, a little intro. Mine will be to hand over the certificates, and we shall follow the order of the booklet.
Okay, so following the order in the certificate, in the booklet, it's not by order of merit, it's just alphabetical. I'll follow the same example that Dr. Alex gave without titles. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Abdi Fattah Elmi.
Kofi Annan Fellowship in Global Health Leadership, Certificate of Completion. Certificate of Completion awarded to Abdul Fattah Elmi Farah for your successful completion of an advanced leadership course from April 2021 to May 2022. Signed, Director of Africa CDC, Dr. John Henderson.
Congratulations. Notre deuxième lauréat de cet après-midi, Aboubakar Jafia. Ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together for him? You remember we heard that there are 11 ladies. I was worried why the ladies are not yet here. So the first lady we are going to call tonight, Asmae Katabi. Congratulations. Notre prochain candidat, notre prochaine lauréate, Awawu Grace Madu. Our next laureate, Christian Tinzimira. Ladies and gentlemen, admire the outfit. Made for Africa, by Africa, and for Africans. Notre prochaine lauréate, Christy Divine Akwaou. Our next laureate for this afternoon, Christy Tiwoda. An outfit from West Cameroon. Congratulations. Notre prochain candidat, lauréat, excusez-moi, Emmanuel Agogo. You know, when you watch Nigerian movies and you see this type of outfit, they say, Igwe. Our next laureate, Ibrahima Sonko. Notre prochain lauréat, Isaka Sunday. Our next laureate, Izukanji Sikazue. Notre prochaine lauréate, Jacqueline Mousigna Nyaberi. Our next laureate is Josiah Rono. The next laureate, Josephat Kakoma. Notre prochaine lauréate, Judith Omonzi Anyona. Our next laureate, Maria de Luz Lima. Our next laureate, allow me to smile first before I call her name. Mary Muchekeza. So our next laureate, who is not here with us today, her certificate will be collected by a representative, and this is Saloshni Naidu. So I just want to thank Saloshni's representative, who is from the South African Permanent Secretariat. That shows the support that we have for this program. Last but not least, Sarah Lavinia Bray. So at this point, we would like to congratulate all the laureates for receiving their certificates, and we would like to thank the honorable team for handing this certificate. Please, a hand of applause for them. Okay. You know, when Dr. Coutinho was talking about the different pieces of public health leadership, he mentioned a very important point. He talked about partnership. All what we are doing here today couldn't have been possible if we didn't do that in partnership. So we've got partners or representatives of member states or other nations who are here with us today. I would like to acknowledge them and request that they give us a few words to acknowledge their presence here. So we'll start by the South African Permanent Secretariat. Please, can you, South Africa, a representative from South Africa to give us.
Thank you very much. That's how you get ambushed into speaking. But I think we can congratulate everybody who took part in this, this wonderful course. Well done for all the hard work, and well done for completing. Of course, we want to congratulate the Commission and the CDC and everybody else who was involved in delivering the course. We want to, of course, thank and recognize the Kofi Annan Foundation for funding this course. And of course, well done to Solutiony from South Africa. We hope there are many more from South Africa, and again, congratulations to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Donc, en résumé, c'était juste pour remercier tous ceux qui ont participé à l'organisation ainsi qu'à la dispensation de ce programme et toutes les personnes qui ont soutenu financièrement, et félicitations à tous les lauréats. So we'd like to call our representative from the member state Zimbabwe, please.
I've been caught unawares, but I thank you for giving me the chance to speak. We, representing my embassy and the other guests here, we want to appreciate, we have always appreciated the work of the Africa CDC. It is a mammoth task, given the period that we've gone through of COVID-19, and we're busy carrying out all other very important tasks like the fellowship program. We are really touched, to say the least, that the Kofi Annan program is grooming leaders for Africa, the much needed skills that we need in the health sector. When we look at our health sector in Africa, we have so much, a long way to go. There's so much that we need to do. I can't say it all here, but we know very well that we have shortcomings, and grooming leaders like the ones that I've witnessed today goes a long way in alleviating some of the gaps that we have already identified, and that we are willing and we are hoping there will be taken action upon. So equipping our fellows is the way forward, and we are very grateful for Africa CDC for championing this, and the leadership at Africa CDC, we totally appreciate. I also appreciate my country lady. She's inspired us. She has really inspired us, and nothing can stop a woman, even in her state, to take up leadership responsibility. We wish you well as fellows, and we hope to see more positive stories and testimonies as you go back to your countries. Thank you very much.
Even though she was caught unawares, she spoke very well. Thank you very much. So, donc, elle remercie Africa CDC d'avoir organisé ce leadership programme, et aussi reconnaît le fait que notre système de santé a beaucoup de manquements, et une initiative telle que celle-ci pour former les leaders en santé publique va essayer de diminuer ce manquement qu'il y a dans notre système. Et elle félicitait particulièrement Mary, parce que lorsqu'on veut, on peut, et il n'y a jamais d'obstacle. Thank you very much for your wise words. So we'd like to invite the representative of GIZ to give us a word this afternoon.
This is the ambush of all ambushes. It's been a long afternoon, a very beautiful one. And on behalf of the German government and the German Development Corporation, which I represent, GIZ, we'd like to say congratulations to all the graduates, and of course, congratulations to the African Union family, the Africa CDC, for this beautiful ceremony. Like I tweeted, I said, it's good to see the African Union walk the talk on transformative leadership as a key enabler for accelerating the attainment of Agenda 2063. I hope we'll move from this to, like Dr. Ibere said, to even broader leadership in the political space as well. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. Au nom du gouvernement allemand, nous voulons féliciter les lauréats ainsi que Africa CDC pour cette initiative. Et c'est intéressant de voir que l'Union africaine peut prendre les choses pareilles en main. Et comme Dr. Béré a dit, nous souhaitons que cela s'étende plus que ce que nous vivons aujourd'hui. So I would like to invite a representative of the UK, I don't know whether to say institutions or government here. Please, Ahmed, you have the floor.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the UK. My name is Ahmed Rezavi. I represent the UK Health Security Agency. First of all, let me congratulate African Union, Africa CDC, and most of all, the graduates of the Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Fellowship for their inspirational speeches, their inspirational work over this past year, and because they will be the future of public health in Africa. So a round of applause for them. I don't really have much more to say. I just want to add a couple of pieces of advice because so much has been said by these inspirational leaders around the table here from Africa CDC and from other organizations. I would just like to say that my own leader and predecessor and mentor, Dr. Ibere Okereke, who has been instrumental to this Kofi Annan Global Health Leadership Fellowship, is here. And if I can learn one lesson from her, it is that you are the start of the leadership in Africa. Make sure that there are those who follow. You are the first cohort. Be the leaders, be the inspiration for the future cohorts to follow, as Ibere was the inspiration for me and for many others as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. Tout d'abord, félicitations à l'Union africaine, Africa CDC et à tous les fellows. Et le conseil qu'il donne et qui vient de l'inspiration de son mentor à lui est que vous êtes le début de cette leadership, soyez l'inspiration pour les générations à venir. Thank you very much, Alex. So I would like to invite the representative of the US government to give us a few words this afternoon. You're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Brady. I think I share the Zimbabwe being caught unawares, but thank you for the opportunity. I'd say a couple things. There's been a tremendous amount of teasing of the US government recently because we've taken Africa CDC's leader away, but I would say at the same time, we also helped bring Dr. John here, and the US government helped to operationalize Africa CDC. A couple of other points. As Dr. Taj knows, we've been actively engaged in a partnership on a number of fronts with Africa CDC. To the fellows, you've gone to a leadership training. A number of us have gone to leadership trainings. You get back to your headquarters, you get back to your public health institutions, and your boss says to you, that's great stuff. We really appreciate everything you've learned there, but you're back to the real world now. So I would just say that your challenge begins in getting back to your headquarters and in taking everything that you've learned at your headquarters back to where you came from and operationalizing that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. It seems like at Africa CDC we like to take people unawares. That is how the pandemic and the public health threats take us unawares. So, just to summarize, ok. Il a juste dit le fait que les États-Unis prennent le Dr. John, il espère qu'il va continuer l'opérationnalisation de Africa CDC. Et aux fellows, le challenge commence lorsque vous rentrez dans vos institutions d'origine. Et donc, vous devez relever ce défi. Thank you very much for those two very wise words. Last but not least, I would like to invite the representative of the member state, Morocco. Please, you're welcome.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour tout le monde. Je suis très heureux et honoré d'assister aujourd'hui avec vous à cette cérémonie. Et d'ailleurs, je tiens à féliciter la première équipe de ce programme initié en collaboration avec CDC, de Kofi Annan Fellowship. Et je salue l'équipe pour les certificats qu'ils ont obtenus en tant que leaders et qui vont avoir un effet multiplicateur en matière de santé publique. Et aussi, je tiens à remercier le CDC Afrique pour son travail, et ça depuis, depuis sa création, 5 ans maintenant, et on vient de célébrer les 5 années du CDC récemment, et surtout, notamment durant cette période de pandémie. Donc, je vous remercie encore, et merci de votre invitation.
Merci beaucoup. So he's happy to be with us this afternoon, and he would like to congratulate the fellows and thank Africa CDC for this program. We recently celebrated the 5 years of Africa CDC, and we hope better things are ahead. Fellows, we've been together in Ethiopia since Saturday, I think. And I think we can all admit the hospitality and how nice our stay has been. And so I would like to invite a representative of our host nation to give us a word of welcome. And also it's an opportunity for us to thank Ethiopia for the hospitality for our fellows. Please, Ethiopia, can you come forward, please? Okay, sorry. So, yes, I would like him to wear 2 hats. First one representing his institution, sorry for that mix-up, EU, and then also to give us a remark on behalf of our host nation. Thank you very much. Yes. I said we always catch people unawares, just like the pandemic did to us.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Abiyu from Minister of Health Ethiopia. That's why I was late. Our hero, Kofi Annan Leadership Program Fellowship graduates, congratulations for your success. Who are the contributors of this program? We would like to acknowledge your contributions to achieve this success, and we expect your light to bright the African public health leadership to expand everywhere and to enhance the existing system of the public health leadership. Thank you again. You will come in Ethiopia. Thank you.
Amas Ginalo. Donc, il félicite les fellows de cet après-midi et remercie tous ceux qui ont contribué au succès de ce programme et conseille les fellows à rester la lumière brillante pour la santé publique du continent et à terminer ce propos en vous souhaitant la bienvenue en Éthiopie. So we would like to thank you all very much for your availability. We started a few minutes late, and I would like to invite Dr. Acham, our Eastern RCC coordinator. I said earlier that she's our mother. She's very motherly, to give us words of thanks and closing remarks. You're welcome, Dr. Acham.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you. Esteemed ambassadors and dear directors from different divisions of African Union, esteemed graduates of the Global Health Fellow Leadership, esteemed and dedicated faculty staff of the Global Leadership Program, and colleagues from Africa CDC, excellencies and ladies and gentlemen. I'm very much honored to make vote of thanks and also a closing remark on this very remarkable day. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you because this is your success. Africa CDC for establishing this leadership program, for approval when Africa CDC is an infant, 1 year old, and for launching the program when Africa CDC is 3 years old, and graduating the fellows when Africa CDC is 5 years old. Congratulations. And graduates, congratulations again for the opportunity to be the first cohort. And you were selected among 600. 20 of you are selected among 600. This shows what you had at the background before selection. As your director, Dr. Alex said, already you were leaders when you came to the program. You brought many, many valuable things to the program. You were leaders of public health programs. You came from the academia. You came from the research. You came from the community practice. So you brought a lot of things into the program. And again, I wanted to congratulate the dedicated and committed faculty. Dr. Alex, for your passion. At the time, I have seen you interacting with the fellows and during in-person session, your passion, loving and caring. So you are an exemplary leader. As you have said, you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be a professor, or you don't have to be an educated different person. So thank you very much. And dedicated and committed faculty members, Dr. Ebere, the program was very honored having you. You are a role model for women. Thank you, Dr. Ebere. And dear faculty members, Martin, Anna, and all other colleagues, we thank you again for your commitment, time, and dedication. And dear colleagues, again, I want to thank our fellows. And fellows, during your program or during the training, you have been interacting one another. You have been exchanging your experiences. And the program you went through had magnificently added value to your leadership skill. I thank Africa CDC and also the fellowship program and Dr. Alex for bringing this program for an in-person training to Kenya. And we really thank you, because myself, I was a fellow that time. I sincerely and really learned a lot from the personal coaching, mentoring. It was so impressive. You know, I said, from where did this kind of transparency and honesty came? You know, the leaders, the public health leaders, were sharing the time when they were down, the time when they were challenged, the difficult times they could not manage, etc. And people were very honest and transparent. I said, oh, these people have reached at a certain level of leadership. So congratulations again. And you have been visiting institutions that had vast experiences on public health, on One Health, animal health, research, and most of all, very impressive, knowing the African tradition and the Swahili culture. You all remember the good time and the joyful and also learning time we had visiting the various institutions. And after this, I also want to thank the faculty, the secretariat, who were really supporting this program. So again, congratulations to the the program secretariat, Adam, Taruna, Faith, and all other colleagues. And last but not least, I want to thank our esteemed partners. We really appreciate, we sincerely appreciate your support to Africa CDC and also your support to this program. So sometimes when you mention names, you might forget, but your support and prominent support is sincerely appreciated. So I will call just our partners: the Kofi Annan Foundation, Coach Africa, WHO, UK government, UK Health Security Agency, the Chatham House, US government, and the government of China, MasterCard Foundation, Susan Thompson Buffett Foundation, World Bank, AFNET, and French Development Agency, GIZ, and all other partners. We sincerely thank you. And our member states, of course, we thank you very much, and we sincerely appreciate the vision of our heads of states and governments for establishing an African health framework, Africa CDC, and we thank you again for your relentless support throughout. So together, we would reach at what we aim, the Agenda 2063. Thank you very much, and I wish you all a very, first of all, I wish you a very pleasant, joyful, and very productive remaining time in Ethiopia, and a very safe journey back home. Congratulations again. Yeah. So I was expecting some kind of song for the graduation. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Acham, for those very wise words. Tout d'abord, je suis très honoré de faire ce commentaire de fin. Je voudrais féliciter tous les lauréats pour le succès et aussi féliciter Africa CDC pour le lancement de ce programme quand Africa CDC avait 1 an. Le début de cette cohorte quand Africa CDC avait 3 ans et la cérémonie de remise de diplôme à 5 ans d'existence. Et donc, pour avoir l'opportunité d'être parmi les premières personnes de cette cohorte, vous êtes les vrais leaders. Je voudrais aussi remercier les membres de la faculté qui ont dédié beaucoup de leur temps pour ce programme. Premièrement, Dr. Alex, qui est un leader exemplaire. Dr. Ebere, qui est un modèle pour les femmes en matière de leadership. Et d'autres personnes parmi lesquelles Martine. Merci pour le soutien. Et aux différents fellows lauréats, ce programme vous a donné l'opportunité d'interagir entre vous, d'échanger vos expériences. Et pendant la période que vous avez fait une partie de ce programme en face à face au Kenya, c'était très impressionnant parce que c'était une opportunité pour moi aussi d'apprendre beaucoup, car avant de commencer ce programme, vous étiez déjà les leaders dans différents domaines et le fait de partager de façon très honnête vos expériences quand les choses allaient bien ou bien quand les choses allaient mal était quelque chose d'extraordinaire qui est un autre niveau en matière de leadership. Le fait d'avoir visité d'autres institutions, j'imagine que cela vous a donné l'opportunité d'apprendre beaucoup de choses. Je voudrais aussi remercier le secrétariat, Faith, Adam, Tiroune, pour ce travail bien fait. Et je n'arrêterai pas mes propos sans remercier nos partenaires, ainsi qu'Africa CDC, les partenaires d'Africa CDC d'avoir soutenu ce programme, parmi lesquels Kofi Annan Foundation, Coach Africa, l'OMS, UK Health Security Agency, Chatham House, le gouvernement chinois, AFENET, Institut de recherche et développement de la France, GIZ, Suzanne Buffett Foundation et d'autres. Je voudrais aussi remercier les États membres à travers leur chef d'État d'avoir mis en place cette agence de sécurité sanitaire pour le continent Africa CDC. Nous vous remercions pour le soutien continu. Et aux lauréats, je vous souhaite un bon temps pendant le reste de votre séjour, ainsi qu'un bon voyage lorsque vous rentrerez dans vos pays respectifs. Thank you very much, Dr. Acham. So, we are getting towards the end of our program this afternoon. And I would like to invite the fellows and the faculty to have a group picture in front of the Mandela Hall. In the meantime, we invite all the other people in the room to join us in what we usually call in Cameroon, item 11, refreshment. So, ladies and
a big hand of applause for our moderator, our interpreter. This is the kind of multi-skilling that will grow Africa when you don't have just one skill, but you have several skills. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the honor. So the table is open.